Behold, the power of cheese. Hey, I'm going to bring you my first true content-related video today. We're going to talk about Goldbacks. And I know there have been some other channels, even some major channels, that have put some content out. But so far, from what I've seen, there is some confusion and some misinformation. And I've been studying the Goldback since well before I made initial purchases for myself and for my daughter. So I want to clear some of that up. So now for those of you who are not familiar with the Utah Goldbacks, I'm going to start with a little bit of information that probably those of you who are already know, but then I'm going to drop some knowledge on all of you that, is stuff you may not know. And I'm also going to talk about why you can stack Goldbacks and how to do it. And about that last point, let's just say, a lot of people will say the Utah Goldbacks or the Nevada Goldbacks that have come out recently and future states are not intended for stacking. And they talk about that primarily because there is a high premium on these. But the premium on these is a little different from others, and I'll explain that too. They also talk about that because that is actually the messaging that the companies responsible for producing and distributing Goldbacks are communicating to the public themselves. They say these are not for stacking. And the reason they say that is because their goals, their agenda, is to create a currency which is non-fiat. It's self-backed by the metal in the currency. And they've succeeded at that. But the problem for them with stackers is that stackers are a little bit of hoarders, right? And I apologize for the glare, but there's no way around it. Even if I take these out of the plastic, they're shiny. They're gonna glare. And I don't have enough light in here to do it without a light on the camera, so apologies. But anyway, they don't want the supply they're trying to get people to use as legal tender in the states where it is voluntarily legal tender, like Utah and Nevada and New Hampshire and some others. But they also want people to barter with them under the laws that allow that. There is a law surrounding something called the Gold Clause in contracts. And anytime you buy or sell something, it's a contract. So in any state in the U.S. where the buyer agrees to accept gold and agrees on a quantity of gold to accept, you can purchase something with gold. So these are usable for barter in any state where they are not voluntary legal currency. All right. So I want to drop the first tidbit of knowledge on everyone. There's the main area I see about confusion with these. One of the prime things is the denominations. Okay. People, I hear the numbers referred to as dollars. Okay. There is no dollar sign. And even for those who recognize that these are not dollars, sometimes I hear them referred to as gold dollars, which there is a thing called a gold dollar, and that unit of exchange rate, if you will, is something that the companies that create these define on their websites. However, these are also not what they call gold dollars. Okay. What the number stands for is actually very simple, and it's most easily seen on the 1, okay? The number is weight. That is what it is. This is 1/1000th of a troy ounce of 24 karat gold. Now that's obvious on the 1, because if you look at the bottom, it very clearly says 1/1000th of a troy ounce, and the 1 and the 1 are the same, right? It's a little more confusing when you step up on any of the other bills. The reason there's confusion is because they simplify the fraction at the bottom of the bill. 5/1000ths simplifies to 1/200th of a troy ounce. Okay? 10/1000ths simplifies to 1/100th of a troy ounce. Okay? 25/1000ths simplifies to a 40th of a troy ounce. And 50 simplifies to 1/20th. 50/1000ths equals 1/20th. It's just math, okay? The numbers on the Goldbacks are the weight in thousandths of an OZT. That's all there is to it. Simple as that. All right, so I hope I helped clear that up. If you get nothing else out of this and you don't go any further, at least you will understand that now about Goldbacks. All right. I'm going to move on to, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the art. Like, there's a very good video out there by one of the other community members on the art on these because he got a chance to speak to the artist. There is a lot going on in the art, and you could spend half an hour to an hour just talking about all that. But I do want to say that the size of the bills is something else that people sometimes comment on. The 25 is roughly the same size as a dollar bill. It is really close. Let me show you. This is a 25 in a top loader, a $1 top loader, okay? And it fits end to end perfectly. And top to bottom, it's just a tiny bit narrower than a dollar. I mean, this is a really close to a dollar, okay? The one is actually pretty small, you know? It's pretty small. And with only 1,000th of an ounce of gold in it, it really would be very thin and almost weightless if it weren't for the polymer that encases the gold. So for those of you that don't know about Goldbacks, all of these are made by spraying gold using some real high tech, spraying gold. First they spray some ink onto the backside of this polymer, of a layer of this plastic polymer. Then they spray the gold on. And they spray the gold on in a way that it actually creates designs too. They put heavier deposits in some places and lighter in others. The gold on top of the ink creates this beautiful art. And then they put another layer of polymer on the back. So you can see the backs of these have no ink. It's a reverse image of the front. The image comes through more on the smaller bills because they are thinner. If you go to the 50, you will see that, I mean, it's still there. It's still very visible, but some of the detail is not as apparent. So the one is very thin. The plastic gives it some heft, but it's very thin. The 50 is the biggest. It's bigger than a dollar bill because for this much gold, a 20th of an ounce, I mean, it only takes 20 of these to make an ounce of gold. 10 of these to make a half ounce. This has some heft to it. If they did not spread it out this thin and this big, this bill would not even flex. It would be like literally, much smaller than this, half this size, and it would just be a bar, okay? Which brings me to another very interesting point. A lot of people think of these as bills because they're made to look like bills. They're made to spend like bills. Back to the agenda that the companies involved in producing and distributing them initially, the initial producers, back to the agenda that they're promoting these for. However, if you look right here, if I can get it to focus, it says on every one of these, this gold coin contains X troy ounces of 24 karat gold. This gold coin, right? These are actually gold coins. They're just in a funny shape, funny dimensions. They're bill shaped and in bill dimensions. They're coins. And you might dispute that, right? I mean, obviously they don't look like coins, blah, 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 but think about the definition of coin. Definition of a coin is not a circular round piece of metal that's inflexible. Coin is money, the coin of the land, right? That's really where the term coin comes from, if you go back to its origin. And this is the coin. This is the non-fiat coin of the land in the states where it's produced. So I just want to point that out. And it's important to point that out because in addition to the gold value that's inherent in these have numismatic value. They are coins, and they are also bills. So they're unique from, what we think of as coins in that way. These actually do have serial numbers on them. I don't know if I can get this to focus in on one, but see if I can. It might not be good on the one. Let's try the 50. Yeah, 50 probably work better. Yeah, so you see right here, it doesn't, with the lighting and everything focus, you can barely see it. But right here on the side, there's a serial number. And it says, I believe, NT902 NT50, something like that. You can see it a lot better in better light and with better focus. Yeah, NT90390. There we go. So this is a 5-digit serial number with 2 letters in front of it. Most of them are like that except for the 5s. The 5s are a little different. The 5s are also, their serial number is a little more pronounced, as I recall. Yeah, let's see if I can get it on it here. My camera's not gonna. Yeah, there you go. All right. The 5s have a 4-digit serial number preceded by 1 letter. C9639 is the example here. So you can get fancy numbers on these bills. So these are coins, whatever you want to call them. They have a serial number. They may be collectible just because of that. The thing about the difference in ranges on the 5s leads me to believe that the 5s may be the least printed denomination. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I mean, obviously the 1s are the most printed. They have it's the smallest denomination. It's the easiest for people to buy. People aren't going to buy the higher denominations unless they're really into Goldbacks. You can see here what I have. They also have a year on them. See right here, 2020. This is a 2020 Goldback. The first year of issue was 2019. So I have a full year set here of 2020 Utah Goldbacks on top. These are my daughters. I also have 2019s. Here, I have a 2019 50 right here. There's 2019. There's 2020. Now, it's interesting to note, I have a full set of the 2019 coming in soon and the Nevada. But it's interesting to note, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up on here. They have changed some of the standard print from one year to the next. Even though the images are the same from one to the other, there are subtle differences. And I believe that may be an anti-counterfeiting thing, or it may just be a design change. But like when you have differences in coinage from one year to the next, it's like different variations, right? So that's present here. So plus these can be slabbed and rated. So there is numismatic value that may, for some of them, at some point in the future, cause their value to rise even above what they cost with their high premium right now. So now that's coin collecting, right? Or bill collecting. That's not stacking exactly, right? So that would tend to support the company's statements and other YouTubers' statements that these are not for stacking. But again, I'm going to beg to disagree, and here's where I'm going to drop a little knowledge on you, okay? If you see these purchased at auction on YouTube on most of the popular channels that do occasionally auction them, lately anyway, as of the last week or two, I've been seeing these auction for between $9 and $12 shipped for a 1/1000th of an ounce, okay? Now, obviously, that is a lot more than what they're worth gold-wise, okay? Also, if you go out and you go on most of the bullion exchanges, APMEX, JD Bullion, any of them that have this stuff, Money Mart, or wherever, Coin Mart, World Coin Mart, any of the places you go to find it, they're going to be selling for anywhere from some of them are a little better than others, but they're going to be selling for a premium on the premium, okay? And when I say that, what I mean is the place to get these cheaper than anywhere else, okay? Private sales excluded, because you can obviously sometimes get things for less than they're worth in a private sale. But commercially, the place to get these for the cheapest price you can is from the original creators and distributors of these, all right? So like APMEX and JD Bullion and all these other, I'm probably saying that wrong. It's probably JM Bullion. I'm thinking of SD Bullion. Anyway, those places are secondary distributors. They get their supply from the mint, okay? If you want to call it that. There's a place that mints these. And they don't even actually get them from the mint, because the mint is a place that uses this the mint brand is Aurum. It appears on the bill right here above the year, Aurum, A-U-R-U-M. You've probably heard them. They've been printing gold foil-based collectibles for a long time, even before the Goldbacks, right? And I believe the company's name is Valerium. Aurum is like the brand. So that company has been hired by an affiliated group of companies that started in Utah, and that's where they're based. There was that conglomerate, if you want to call it that, has been organized by a principal who was responsible for writing the laws that allowed these and getting them elevated in the legislature there to allow laws to be changed that made this possible, right? So some of the companies involved in this affiliation of companies are, you may have heard of UPMA, that I believe stands for the Utah Precious Metal Association. I think that's what that is. It might be the United. But anyway, UPMA, and that is actually a nonprofit group set up as a 500 something or other nonprofit, one of those. And that allows them to be membership based, membership, and offer members services at a very affordable price, because they are a nonprofit. So part of their goal is to store members' stuff who want to vault their stuff at low cost for vaulting. So they do have some fairly low vaulting fees. It also allows them to offer their members to exchange between them through the UPMA at a very low spread. It's like the lowest spread I've seen. So if you're a member of the UPMA, you can take advantage of those services. They will vault Goldbacks for free. They will vault your Goldbacks for free. And I'll tell you why you might want to actually consider that, even though I know a lot of people have stuff against vaulting. But it goes to why you can stack Goldbacks, okay? And why the premium is a very unique thing here. So a troy ounce of gold, let's just say gold's at 2,000 spot. It's a hypothetical. It's not, right? It's like 1,900 something right now. But let's say 2,000 for sake of easy math. 1/1000th of an ounce is $2. When gold was at 2,000, the people that sell these, this original group, I'll call them the mint, sold these for $3 and change, around $3.25 to $3.30 when it was a little over 2,000. So the premium on these runs about 30-ish%, 35% of the gold value. I don't have the exact formula worked out. If I actually tracked the rise and fall of the prices as someone could through their website on a daily basis, I could probably figure the formula out and determine exactly what the formula for the premium is. But they have one. They have a formula for the premium. Now, people will say, well, that's exorbitant. That, you can buy fractional gold coinage for a much cheaper premium. And that's true. That is true. And sometimes you can even get that premium back on certain collectible issues of limited mintage. You may even be able to flip it for a tremendous profit. But think about what I was saying about the auctions on these. That's what people are doing with these. People are buying these, like right now, they're as of today, when I looked out there, they were around $3.20 per one, right? Roughly. People are buying these for $3 and change and selling them at auctions on YouTube for between $9 and $12 shipped. Or, no, admittedly, that's shipped, but $9 and $12. When was the last time you flipped a coin you bought for 3 to 4 times what you paid for it? I mean, I know it happens, but it's very rare. You can buy these all day, every day, with the exception of the brief periods of time when they run out of stock and have to order more. The mintages on these are not limited. They will order them all year. for as long as, there are orders to be had. You can order these and for 3 and change per one and flip them. Now, the one obviously is going to flip for the higher percentage. I would imagine if you get up into the 5s, the 10s, I haven't even actually seen these being sold at auction on YouTube. If they were, I would imagine they would not go for 3 to 4 times their value, because on eBay, that's and at the mints, the highest markup is on the 1. It's the most liquid unit, so it makes sense. Okay, so the thing about the free vaulting is, if you buy these from UPMA, which has been rebranded recently as Alpine Metals, which is based in Alpine, Utah, they will, and you vault them with them, or even if you take delivery later, if you send these back to them, as long as these are credited in your account or upon receipt from you, when they credit them in your account, they credit you the full value, including the premium, the full value at the time they receive them from you. If they vault them with you, the value, your account will show the value of what's in your vault account, and it will include the premium, because the premium is not lost on these. It's you can think of it as a numismatic value or a fiat value, whatever you want, but there is, as long as they remain open, there is no risk, or I shouldn't say none, because as a risk manager, there's always some risk, but there is minimal risk of non-recovery of your premium. So you can stack these, and I'm going to explain why that's important, because with the UPMA, they also will allow you to convert from one metal to another, or from Goldbacks to another metal. So you can convert your vaulted Goldbacks into gold coins or silver coins that are also vaulted with them. And again, the spread, they really have no spread. There's no bid-ask premium. That's part of what their non-profit thing is. So if your Goldbacks are worth $3 a unit plus change, and you have 1,000 of them, you've got 3,000 and change worth of value in your vault there. You can say, hey, you can check their price, what their price on a gold dollar is. And when I say gold dollar, I believe they only offer this exchange service on 1 unit of gold. It's an American Gold Eagle. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, the American Gold Eagle. On silver, I believe they give you a choice. You can either choose an American Silver Eagle, or you can choose something else, something older. So, but they will give you a price, and there may be a small premium in there. That's as close as they come to a bid ask. But you can exchange your gold for an American Gold Eagle at a very reasonable exchange rate. So if you are stacking Goldbacks and vaulting them with the originator, with the mint, so to speak, once you have enough of them, you can turn them into actual gold coinage and recover your premium at the same time. So yes, you can stack Goldbacks. It's important to know that, right? So I'm going to wrap this up. It's long enough already, going on 20 some minutes, but I did want to say part of the other affiliates to that organization are LTS. That's a Legal Tender Services. It's an LLC. It is the division of that mint, if you want to call it that, which handles sales. UPMA is actually primarily only there, I believe, to handle the vaulting and the exchange between members. And there are some other parts to it. They have like a legal division. They may have an interest in, I'm not sure what degree of interest they have in Valerium or Aurum, or if they're just contractually involved with them, but they're very connected in some way. I know that. So, and the information's out there. Yeah, I mean, I've read it. I just don't remember. So anyway, the last thing I'd want to say is, if you want to buy these from UPMA or Alpine or LTS, whichever one you want to talk about buying it from, you do have to go out and set up a UPMA account. It is not hard, but it's also not easy. I'm going to do a future video on how to do that because the website's a little clunky. They're basically a small group. If you call them to talk to them, it's only going to be one of 2 people that answer the phone. They have a small forward-facing customer service group, and they also have a small back end that handles the accounting and all the legal stuff and all that. So, it's not a big group, but they're doing big things. I love the Goldbacks, and I just want to get it out there. You can stack Goldbacks, and I've told you why, and I've told you how. I'll get more into how in terms of account creation and stuff in a future video some point. But thanks. I appreciate you spending time beholding the power of cheese. Ah, the power of cheese.